Alright, let's break down That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, chapter number 77, Eve of Battle. As always, spoilers at the end of the chapter for the light novel readers and hardcore fans. In the Pixar end, Shion and Ranga gets to go with Rimuru to the Walpurgis. Let's break down why he didn't pick anybody else, which is explained in the light novel, so I'm not going into any spoiler. Beating Mamoru is going to lead the army to fight against Claimant Army. Diablo, he's on his way to Firmus. Sue discovered Claimant Castle and hidden behind clouds. 3 people is going to this castle during the fight. Sue, Hakuro, and Shuna. Well, Shuna bullied her big brother into letting her go. Now, originally, Rimuru wanted Hakuro to go to the conference with Romulus as her second with Beretta, but Trainee wanted to go with her, so that takes Hakuro's spot. Rimuru did think about taking Ranga in his shadow and using him as a third person. I'm sure some of you was thinking the same thing, but what if he was put in a similar situation like Hinata? He would be unable to contact Ranga inside of the barrier. As for Valdora, it is another reason why he is not taking Valdora, but that's going into spoilers, even though the light novel explains it at this point in time, but they are definitely going to explain it later. So I will put this at the end of the video where the spoilers are. Alright, this here is pretty awesome. You get 2 Easter egg characters that you guys will love later on in the series. You have here Seijin and Alpido. This is not the first time that you met these two. Back in chapter 30, it's the first time when you met them. At that time, Seijin had protected Alpido from a B-rank monster. Now that B-rank monster was a blade tiger. Put that into perspective. The lizard men at that point in time were all C-rank. And this 1 foot 12 inches of Beetle fought off this B-rank blade tiger all by himself. Now Seijin was on the verge of dying. He even had some of his body part missing. Rimuru saw this and decided to help him. Now here's what Rimuru did. He used magic steel and some of his own slime body to fix Seijin. Do you understand what this means? Not only did he name both of them, some of Rimuru's cells are inside of Seijin. This is the reason why I've spent so much time explaining who these two are. Now Alpido is special too. The only reason why Rimuru even saved her is because she can make honey. But don't worry, like I said, later on down the line, you're going to love these 2 characters because they become so stupidly strong. If you notice, Romulus looked weirdly at Alpido. That's because she is a queen. She even have a queendom at this point in time. She even offered to summon her queendom to Rimuru. However, he refused. Now the thing with Trainee was pretty straightforward. They didn't miss out too much on this besides the 2 girls you notice in the background. These 2 girls are Trainee sisters. Their names is Doris and Treyas. Alright, now let's talk about Millen and her territory. In her territory, she has about 100,000 people living off the land. Then you have the dragon worshippers. These people essentially worship Millen, and this is about 100 of them. Alright, now let's talk about Millen herself. If you haven't put it together yet, I'm about to explain it to you. Millen's father is Star King Dragon Valdora. This is not a spoiler at this point in time because this was said several times throughout the light novel. When he named Millen, he lost most of his powers to her. And because he lost most of his powers, he decided to disperse his body to reincarnate later. This is why people consider this a taboo to name people, and why Rimuru was so crazy to do it the way that he did. So this dude here, Yanza, is one of Claimant fingers. So this is the 3rd finger you met so far. The other 2 you have met was Myron, who is now with Yom as a couple, and this Harpy that Diablo killed when he redirected Ryzen nuclear cannon at her. Now this happened back when Rimuru first summoned Diablo. Now if you want to know about the other 2 fingers, I will talk a little bit about them at the end of the video, for spoiler reasons. So let's move over to Valdora interaction with the Demon Lords. Valdora is one of the strongest in this entire world. True dragons are at the top of every power scale in this entire series. This was a problem for him because he has nothing to do besides fight. Now he has manga. Now the only creatures that he is aware of that can give him any type of challenge are Demon Lords. So this fool runs around picking fights with them for entertainment purposes. Some of them he kills, some of them they don't reach any type of. So this vampire kingdom that Valdora mentioned that he destroyed is very important. His history with her have a major effect on the main storyline. So much so that I'm not going to talk about it. Not even in the end of this video. Just keep this relationship in mind for future events. Now the new demon lord vampire that took her place is called Valentine. You met him before already. He the one that beat the crap out of Laplas when he tried to sneak into the holy place after they got Hinata to fight Rimuru. Next demon lord he talks about is Daggero. He is part of the giant race. He cannot evolve into a true demon lord because he has too much holy energy in him. But because he is so strong, God gave him a seat. Alright, next one you have Dino. I'm not going to say anything about him because of his background. So like they don't even mention his background even at the light novel at this point in time. So I'll still break him down at the end of the video, but just know at the light novel point at this point in time, they don't have nothing about his background. Now, why Valdora haven't picked a fight with Guy? Even though he is extremely strong and he knows his location. Well, it's very simple. He also knows his big sister is there. His sister is a motherly figure to him. In other words, she was the one that would beat his butt all the time when he was acting up. So let's talk real quick about the first two generations of the Demon Lord. First generation consists of Guy, Millen, and Remulus. The first three Demon Lords. Then the second generation consists of Romulus, the vampire queen, Daggero, the giant, and then Dino. Now after a little while, the gate opens up, and then you see a green-haired beauty come through. She is a demon peer, one evolution above a archdemon. Now because of Remulus, Rimuru have a bad impression on Demon Lords. But seeing a demon on the same level as Diablo right in front of him, and she is just a maid, Rimuru has a different impression of Guy. Alright people, time for the spoilers. So let's start with the other two fingers of Clayman. You will meet them later on in this war that they're about to have. One of them name is Albert. He's a ghost. Albert is extremely powerful. You will find him when they break into the castle. The other is a nine-tailed fox named Kumara. She is actually one of the monsters Clayman took with him to the Walpurgis. Alright, let's move over here to Dino. Dino is a demon lord. He is an awakened demon lord too. I mentioned earlier the reason why I put him under spoilers. Because of his race. Now, his race is a fallen angel. Now, Dino is a lazy ass. He is definitely my type of character. And it fits perfectly with his ultimate skill. He has one of the 7 sand skills, which is one of the most powerful skills throughout this whole. His ultimate skill is called Slothful King Belphegor. Alright, lastly, the main reason why Rimuru did not bring Valdora to this Walpurgis event. Remember back earlier when Rimuru first summoned Valdora out of the infinite prison? That came with several unique skills because his connection with Valdora. And one of them is summon Storm Dragon Valdora. So essentially he can summon Valdora whenever, wherever he wants, as long as Valdora approves it. Well, that's it for this video, people. Thank you for watching. I will start doing the anime. I won't start from 1. I hope you guys like these videos. Please like and subscribe. Deuces.